Alright, people of God, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Prince Èmail, and as you guys can tell by the title, today we are reading the Psalm 84. We will be reading from the ESV. Alright, and as you guys can see in the title, today is officially day number 18. Alright, and so this is a series we're doing on this channel whereby we read through the book of Psalms for the whole of this month. And so today is officially day number 18. Alright, so in case you are new, do be sure to go back and check out some of the previous videos and then come back to this, as I've been saying, so that we can finish this year strong. Alright, and so as we are reading from the ESV, the title does say, "My soul longs for the courts of the Lord." Alright, I'll read through first and then afterwards I'll go through bit by bit. And so the beginning says, a psalm of the sons of Korah. Alright, and so Psalm 84, and I read, "How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts! My soul longs, yes, faints, for the courts of the Lord. My heart and flesh sing for joy to the living God. Even the sparrow finds a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young. At your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house, ever singing your praise. Blessed are those whose strength is in you, in whose hearts are the highways to Zion. As they go through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The early rain also covers it with pools. They go from strength to strength. Each one appears before God in Zion. O Lord God of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O God of Jacob. Behold our shield, O God. Look on the face of your anointed. For a day in your court is better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the one who trusts in you." Alright guys, that brings today's reading to an end, and already I feel like this psalm is a song, right? And so underneath the title it does say, "To the choir master according to the Gittite," right? And then it says a psalm of the song of Korah, right? And so this is a song, and it gives me, the impression of just speaking of the joy that comes with serving God, the joy of staying with the Lord, the joy of having God as your refuge, right? And so I'll go over quickly and then I'll add what I have and what I will be taking away from this passage. So starting over from the verse 1, it says, "How lovely is your dwelling place, O Lord of hosts! My soul longs, yes, faints, for the courts of the Lord. My heart and flesh sing for joy to the living God. Even the sparrow finds a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young. At your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house, ever singing your praise." And so I think here we can already tell that a characteristic that comes with being with the Lord, with one who has been with the Lord, with one who seeks to know more of God, who spends time in fellowship with the Lord, is just joy and praise, right? I think the verse 4 emphasizes that strongly, because it says, "Blessed are those who dwell in your house, ever singing your praise," right? And so there is joy in those who seek the face of God. And so I even like how the verse 3 emphasizes how even the creation seeks and longs, right? Creation has its place of dwelling, right? It says that the sparrow finds a home and the swallow a nest for herself, right? And then it continues to say, "Where she may lay her young. At your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my glory." Alright, sorry folks, my camera died, so I changed the batteries. But yeah, as I was saying, the verse 3 points out, how the sparrows and even the birds, right, seek to draw near to God, right? And I want us to remember that this is a song, so you can take it in a literal sense. However, whenever we read the Bible, we have to be, aware of the context. So in a way, it expresses, how warm the presence of God is, that even creation, right, seeks or would seek, right, to draw near to God, right? And so reading from the verse 4, it says, "Blessed are those who dwell in your house, ever singing your praise," right? There is joy there, right? There is joy in dwelling with God. And then 5 goes on to say, blessed are those whose strength is in you, in whose heart are the highways to Zion. As they go through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The early rain also covers it with pools. They go from strength to strength. Each one appears before God. I'd like to point out how these verses, in a way describe the posture of the hearts, right? It makes me think about the Matthew 5, right, from 15 to 16, where the Bible speaks of the people of God, right, being the light of the world, right? And it says, no one turns on a light and puts it or places it under the bed. And then it continues then to say in the 16, right, let your lights shine. And so when we read the verse 6, where it says, as they go through the valley, right, the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs, right? A valley is a down place, right? A place, right? We have the hills, which signifies, the highs, right? The highs in life, and then we have the valley, which are to signify, the lows in life or the dark places. And so in the Psalm 23, where it says, yea, though I walk through the valley, right, of the shadow of death. And so a valley, in the Bible always often refers to a place of, of darkness, right? And so when the verse 3 says, as they go through the valley of Baca, they make it a place of springs. The early rain also covers it with pools, right? It speaks of, the people of God, the righteous people of God, as it says in the verse 5, blessed are those whose strength is in you, right? So people who find their strength in God, right, wherever they go, right, there is a change. There is, they become a light for that place, right? And so notice how, whilst they go through the valley, right, good things appear, right? And it brings this song to my mind where it says, where we sing about how everywhere Jesus went, good things happen, right? And so I think this verse in a way speaks on how, as a people of God, right, we are to be, a light wherever we may appear. And so it is important, right, to know who you represent and to know that you are a child of light, and that not to dim your light wherever you may be, right, and to stand strong and to walk and just to live by your truth as a Christian. And we are able to realize that we are a light. We know that wherever we find ourselves, we are to be a light. And that is not saying, you have to kind of go out of your way to do something ridiculous, right? There's a time and a place for everything. But that is to say, just in your lifestyle in general, in your life as a Christian, there is something different that has become a part of you, and that thing is to be seen. And so in Matthew 5:16, it says, let your light shine so before men, right, that they see your work, right, and glorify your Father who is in heaven. Right, you are supposed to be a representative of what the faith is to be like, right? And so that is what it's speaking of here in the verse. And then reading from the verse 7, I'll read up until the end, and then I'll add my final words, right? It says, behold our shield, O God, look on the face of your anointed. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000 elsewhere. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord is a sun and shield, and the Lord bestows favor and honor. No good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the one who trusts in you. So as I said, right, this passage, right, is a song that communicates the joy that comes with being with the Lord. And even from the 10 up until the 12, I think in a way it highlights, the depths and the levels to serving God, right? And so when he says that I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of God than dwell in the tents of the wicked, I think, in a way it points out that, there are, levels to serving God, right? Because being a doorkeeper means that this person has not even entered, right, the main dwelling. And so there are depths, right, to go. And this person would rather just be, a mere doorkeeper, which is not mere, right? But I'm just saying, right, would rather be a doorkeeper, right, just to be close to the Lord. Sometimes, I hear stories, right, on social media, wherever, just in conversations as well, where you see people, right, who have went through or been through, some crazy stuff, but they still have that fire, they still have that motivation, right, to serve God. And the only thing that kind of explains that is the joy of God, is the presence of God. Because to a certain degree, it's difficult sometimes to keep going and fighting when you haven't met with the Lord, right? When you don't have that encounter or fellowship with God. Sometimes, you're just running on your own flesh, you're running on your own strength, and that is just, not sustainable, as I always say, which is why it is important to, have a prayer life, have that moment of fellowship, a quiet time to build that relationship with God, because it is in that encounter, right, that when the times get tough, you are able to stand, right? And so, guys, as I've said, this brings today's video to an end, and I hope this message, has reached you guys as it has reached me. That being said, I will conclude this video by saying, if you are new, do be sure to subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that when I do drop tomorrow, you do not miss it. Like the video as it helps out the channel a lot more than you think. And that being said, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you.